Hello everyone, I hope you're okay and I hope you had an amazing weekend. Today I want to make a video about the 5 different speeds of ops in Rainbow Six Siege. And yes, I said 5 on purpose because following a recent-ish change, I think it was maybe 9 months ago this happened. It could have been sooner, but around 9 months ago, there was a change to the game which introduced 2 new speeds to operators. We now have a 0.5 times speed and also a 4 times speed. So I wanted to go over all of the different speed comparisons in the game and also debunk certain questions like, I run faster with a secondary pistol, do I also run faster if I have a secondary shotgun or SMG, for example? Or which is faster, running with a pistol or running with the horizontal grip? So here is a deep dive into all of the different speed comparisons within the game, and we'll go with what's the absolute slowest, what's the fastest first, and then we'll show the comparison of the rest. The absolute slowest you can be in the game is being a 1 speed with an LMG, which will essentially make you a 0.5 speed. The LMG, because they're heavy, they make you run a lot slower. So if we compare a 1 speed with the AR versus a 1 speed with the LMG, you will see the speed difference. Now, this is a very short distance to run, and the 0.5 speed is 1.1 seconds slower, which may not seem that significant. However, because it's such a short distance, it is very significant to bear that in mind. Because if you are going from one side of the map to the other, that's going to take you 10 to 15 seconds longer just because you're holding the LMG. So if you're ever in a situation where you're debating doing a rotate and you have a 1 speed operator with the LMG, I would definitely weigh up your options on if that will be beneficial or not because of how long it will take you. There are ways that you can mitigate this slowness and try to avoid being a 0.5 speed, as swapping to your pistol, for example, will make you move faster, or swapping to a secondary, as well as bringing a horizontal grip, which brings me on to which is the fastest you can be as an operator. Well, that is the 4 times speed, and that is essentially a 3 speed with the horizontal grip on their weapon. You're about to see the horizontal grip versus not having the horizontal grip, and then straight after that you will see the horizontal grip versus running with the pistol and also just running with a standard AR. And as you will see, that running with the horizontal grip is faster than running without it, but it is also slightly faster than running with the pistol, thus making it its own speed class of a 4 speed. Although the difference is only small, if you're doing this across a whole map, it will actually have quite a significant speed difference. The question is, should you always run the horizontal grip just because it's faster? And my answer to that is not necessarily. The difference between the horizontal grip and running with a pistol isn't that significant, but both are significantly faster than running with an AR without the horizontal grip. If you are bringing Habana, for example, I chose her for a reason for the speed comparison. If you're bringing Habana and you're bringing her secondary SMG, now that does not give you a speed increase that is significant of any kind. It is like a millisecond faster running with that compared to running with your AR without the horizontal grip. And that could be a millisecond because of editing, or it's genuinely a millisecond, but it's really not a significant difference. So if you're bringing somebody who has a secondary SMG or a secondary shotgun, I would personally then put a horizontal grip on their weapon if I can control the recoil, because it will allow you to get around the map faster. However, for me, because I can't control the recoil of Habana's secondary SMG, I actually bring her pistol and I don't run the horizontal grip on her main weapon because I have the secondary pistol. But there are benefits to having the horizontal grip compared to using a secondary pistol to get around the map faster. That being that is A, the horizontal grip is technically faster than running with a pistol, but not by that much. And B, if you are trying to navigate a map quite quickly and a roamer catches you off guard and you've got your pistol up, the chances are that roamer will win that gunfight because you only have a pistol. Whereas if you're running around with your primary AR and you have the horizontal grip on there and you can move quickly with it, if you get into a gunfight, you're ready for it because you already have your primary AR out. On PC, this probably feels a lot different because people are pretty good with pistols in general on PC because you can kind of like point and click with them. But on console, I see a lot less fatality with pistols when I'm playing games. I play both PC and console, and there are way more eliminations in the feed with pistols on PC than console. It's very rare that I'll ever see an elimination in console with a pistol. So this is when it is more beneficial to run the horizontal grip in this scenario because of how you play the game. So if you're roaming, I would recommend maybe actually bringing a horizontal grip or roam clearing, for example. But if you're kind of like going to be pushing sight and you're only really going to be pushing sight, then you might benefit not bringing a horizontal grip, or if your aim's not very good, you might not benefit bringing a horizontal grip. Choosing certain weapons and operators and grips isn't something that we always had to bear in mind with Siege when it came to the speed of the game, but since this change a few months ago, this is something that's actually quite important. And what actually prompted me to make this video in the first place was the fact that I've been playing a lot of Raora recently, trying to get away with certain strats and testing different things to try and make videos about her for you guys. But I noticed that when I was playing with her, I bring her LMG. And when I was playing with her, I was like, damn, she's really slow. And I completely forgot that the reason why she's so slow is because I was bringing the LMG. Because she's a 2-2, so she shouldn't be that slow. But in my head, I was like, she feels so much slower than a normal 2-2. And I was like, is it because my FOV is up too low or down too low? I checked and I was like, oh no, wait, it's because she's an LMG. And it had actually completely slipped my mind that she will be a lot slower because she has the LMG. So basically, if you play Raora as a 2-2 and then bring the LMG, she's actually a 1-speed. And I think that's a really cool interaction with weapons and operators that they brought within the game, as LMGs are very big in real life and you wouldn't be able to sprint around with them like a normal person without one. So I like that interaction that they brought in, and then it made me think, I wonder how many people don't actually notice or might forget this, because this video will definitely benefit newer players, but it will also benefit veteran players who may have forgotten, because I play the game every day and I myself had forgotten about that, and it wasn't until I was playing Raora more I realized. So I don't normally bring LMGs personally. I very, very rarely bring LMGs. I will bring them to meme sometimes, but normally I bring it on Zofia and she's already super slow. And so it's not often that I bring an LMG 2-speed or an LMG 3-speed, because if I'm bringing a 3-speed, I am playing more for roam clearing, so the LMG isn't really suited for that with the operators who are a 3-speed who have the LMG like Capital. I'd say he's more of a plant execution sight kind of guy. So yeah, it wasn't until that happened I was like, I wonder how many people forgot. I mean, I have a friend who's played this game for literally years. He's over level 500. He's like level 520, I think. And he did not realize that bringing out your pistol will make you run faster. And it wasn't until very recently I explained to him that it makes you run faster, and he genuinely did not believe me. He thought I was just trying to gaslight him, like jokingly. If you can gaslight somebody jokingly. But anyway, he thought I was lying to him. And it wasn't until I made a video about it on TikTok to say, did you know that if you bring out a pistol, you actually run quicker? And then showed the speed comparison. He was like, I guess that is true. And he just didn't know for that whole time. And he was level 520. So sometimes these videos will benefit everybody, not just new players. But I hope this kind of gave some insight, as there is, I would say, 5 speeds in the game. A 4-speed, a 3-speed, a 2-speed, a 1-speed, and a 0.5 speed. I mean, technically, Oryx was already a 4-speed using his ability. But that aside, there is not just the 3 speeds that we have known in Siege.